Hi, I'm Jay Walljasper. I'm here in Cleveland to talk about what makes great communities. I live in Minneapolis, and I have the great good fortune to travel around the world and look at communities, looking at what works, what doesn't work, why things work, and how they could work better. And, you know, some of the shining, interesting stories. There's two towns. One of them in Seoul, Korea. They had built a freeway over a river. And the guy, he's now president of Korea, or at least he was president of Korea last time I checked. He was the mayor, and he said, we're going to rip up that freeway, we're going to bring back the river and make it a park. And that's now the first thing they show you when they get to Seoul. And then there's another town in Aalborg, Denmark, that did the very same thing. They what's called daylighting a river. I mean, so those are some of your dramatic examples. They're talking about doing that with the Los Angeles River now, which is just essentially it's essentially kind of a drainage canal running through a cement culvert all the way through the city, and there's huge plans for that. So those are some of the really kind of sexy stories. But city after city after city, amazing things are happening, and who's doing it really right? Boy, I don't know where to start on that one. Grand Rapids, Michigan has done some really interesting, pretty close to Cleveland, has done some really interesting things on their riverfront there. Pittsburgh, I love what they've done with the river. I'm from the Twin Cities, and, we're doing some pretty amazing stuff along the Mississippi. And the Mississippi was a lot like Lake Erie. I mean, it was where the brothels were. It was where you went to buy drugs. It was, and people were still dying of typhus, into the 1930s because the water was so polluted there. It's inconceivable that someone of that generation would think that now the most highest priced housing in the city is right along the river. And and of course there used to be tank farms there. I think at one point someone counted there were something like 32 sets of railroad tracks in between downtown and the river. And now today that's the first place you take people. Guests from out of town, let's go down and see the river. The Mississippi is an iconic river, and Cayuga is an iconic river. Rivers, they capture our imagination because they extend great distances. And the whole, life is about a flow, right? And rivers flow, and just in watersheds, there's so much the ecological organizing principles, and so there's just so much in rivers that just capture our imagination. And I still think of other examples. Louisville's doing some real interesting things with the Ohio River down there. Milwaukee actually, we think of Milwaukee as a lake city, but they have 3 rivers that come together there. And one of them is called the Milwaukee River. And it has an amazingly nice, I was just there a couple weeks ago, it has an amazingly nice walkway along it. And then the other 2 rivers, the Kinnick is one, and the... I can't remember the name of the other one, but there's now a bike trail that runs along it. It's kind of Milwaukee's one of these kind of industrial cities that's kind of flourishing, and a lot of it has been they've always had a great lakefront, and now they have a great waterfront, riverfronts to go with it.